along the Loch. I might as well tell you a few more things about it. One of the things is that this Loch was used as a measure for the attempt to break the record for the fastest man on the water. John Cobb, in the 1950s, he held the record for being the fastest man on land, and he wanted to do the same at sea, on the water. So he came up here and they measured the Loch, and it's exactly a mile wide at this point. So he went across the Loch after various practices. He went across the Loch, and he did, in fact, he broke the speed limit. So he became the fastest man on water. However, on the way back across the Loch, his boat exploded and he died. So the poor man, he held the record for being the fastest man on water for about a few hours. So the poor man, all that is left now, there is a memorial near Loch to commemorate John Cobb. And they never did find out why his boat exploded. Now, there's something I want you to look out for as we go along here. And on the other side of the Loch, oh, and Nessie, of course. We're always looking for Nessie. Actually, these trees are a bit of a nuisance. You've got more chance when it's winter time. However, no, according to Nessie comes when she feels like it. And there are quite a few boats and ships on the Loch at the moment. However, what I want you to look out for as we get further up, but I'm trying to give you advance warning, it's on the right hand side. Just on the shores of the Loch, there is a castle. It's a pink castle, and it's called Aldowrie Castle. And this one I find quite interesting because land ownership in Scotland is it's quite hard to find out who owns what in Scotland. But according to the last statistics I saw, 43% of it is held by the government and various other government organisations like the National Trust and so on, which are not exactly owned by the government but something similar. 57% of ownership is in private hands. Now the person who owns the most land in Scotland is a Danish billionaire called Anders Poulsen, and he owns 12 estates in Scotland, which covers an awful lot of land. Now, he made his money by selling, have you heard of ASOS? The online clothes empire, basically. So he is the largest shareholder in that. So he has made his money through all sorts of things. And he now owns, he obviously likes Scotland, he owns 12 estates here. And one of them is here at Aldowrie Castle, another one is at Glenfeshie in the Cairngorms, and he is considered to be a very good landlord because he takes great care of the environment. He is trying to restore the native trees in Glenfeshie, the Caledonian pine trees, and to do that he has had to fence off huge amounts of land to prevent the deer from accessing it, because it's the deer that do the most damage to the trees. So he is a very good landlord. But he actually lives in Glenfeshie, that's his main home. The others are all business enterprises. So the castle of Aldowrie, on the shores of the Loch, if you have some spare cash, you might be able to rent it. So it can be rented for £12,000 per night. And last week when we passed by here, there was a big marquee in the grounds, so somebody had obviously rented Aldowrie Castle for a wedding or some other function. So there is a slight gap in the trees as we come along here, and if you look to the other side, you might be able to see the pink castle in a moment. The village that you see on the other side is called Dores, D-O-R-E-S. And would you believe it, in the field up above Dores, for about 4 or 5 years, they had a music festival. Yes, okay, but they don't have that one anymore. I'm not quite sure why. Now, the Loch is used very much by leisure craft. There is a large marina on the Caledonian Canal where you can hire a boat and you can sail down through the lochs and through the canal until you get down to Fort William and the west coast, and then out to the islands of Mull and Skye. If you start looking to the right, you might just catch a glimpse of a pink castle. Looking right, there it is, pinkish reddish. So there you are, Dowry Castle. And there's the toll ship that is just about to come into Loch, and then that will be the entrance to the canal.